Hello, fantastic 6th grade Vikings. So I know that it is a big leap to go from calculating your speed, which is just a ratio of how far you travel to how long it took you to go there. So a ratio of distance to time. That's just a one-step problem. It's a big leap to go to calculating your kinetic energy. And I was challenging folks and I was asking you to see if you can figure it out. And I want to go through an example using my numbers so you can see how I did it. So the thing to know is that there is an equation, there's a way to calculate your kinetic energy. All you need to know is your mass and your speed. And this right here, this is the formula here. And all this stuff down here, even if it looks confusing, all it is rewriting this. So kinetic energy depends upon the mass of an object. Kinetic energy depends upon the speed of the object. Now, to be able to calculate your kinetic energy, you need to know your speed. And one thing I found out a lot of people are getting confused with, here it says, my speed for my fast walk was, well, your speed was however many meters per second. Some people are writing down their time. Don't tell me how long it took you to walk. I need to know what the rate of your walking was. What was the distance to time rate? And that you calculated here. So when I calculated my fast walk, I knew that it took me 5.83 seconds to walk 10 meters. 10 divided by 5.83. Stick it in the calculator, that's 1.72. So my speed for my fast walk was 1.72 meters per second. That means I could walk about 1.72 meters every second when I was going fast. And then it says my mass is approximately 50 kilograms. Well, this is your average middle schooler, not me. I'm a little heavier, but I'm going to use this number so that it makes sense to you. So here we are. Kinetic energy equals 1/2 times the mass times the speed squared. We'll talk about what squared means in a minute. So right here, kilograms, the mass I'm going to use, we're going to assume everyone is 50 kilograms. So there you go, 50 kilograms. And then my speed, well, that's what I calculated before. I wrote it here. It was 1.72 meters per second. I'm going to take this number and I'm going to square it. When you square a number, all it means is you take that number and you multiply it by itself. So let me get my calculator open here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's my calculator. Ta-da! High tech. And I'm going to take that number, 1.72, and I'm going to multiply it by itself. 1.72 equals 2.9584. I'm just going to round it to the nearest hundredth, so I'm going to say 2.96. So this number squared, I'm going to put right down here. 2.96. So 1.72, my speed squared is 2.96. The unit squared too, isn't that weird? Meters squared per second squared. My mass, here, this number just comes down here. That's still 50. So now I know my kinetic energy is equal to 1/2 times that mass times my speed squared. Okay, well now kinetic energy equals 1/2 times, let me multiply this number by this number. So I'm going to take 2.96 times 50. So I could have also put in 50 times 2.96. Either way it works. The answer is 148. 148. And so my kinetic energy is going to be half of that. Okay? So 1/2 of that, so 148 divided by 2 equals 74 kilograms times meters squared, second squared, or 74 joules, because a joule is the same thing. So that's how you calculate it. All right? Let me add one more example. I'll do the same thing for the slow walk. Slow walk, I have to go back over here. I know it took me 12.20 seconds to walk 10 meters, but that's not my speed. That's how long it took me. So I have to find the ratio. And the ratio was I walked 10 meters in 12.20 seconds. 10 divided by 12.20 is 0.82. That means I walked about 0.8 of a meter, 0.82 meters in 1 second. So my speed, I'll just copy it down here, was 0.82 meters per second. That's the speed. I'm going to use the same mass as above. My mass, 50 kilograms. That's not changed. 50 kilograms times 0.82 meters per second. That's going to be squared. So 50 kilograms, that remains my mass. This is going to be squared. So let me clear that. 0.82, oh, there you go, times 0.82 equals 0. I'm going to round it again to the nearest hundredth, 0.67. I'm going to take that number and multiply it by 50. 50 equals 33.62. I take half of that, so this was just multiplying this by this. This times this equals that. Half of that divided by 2 equals 16.81 crazy unit, which is the same thing as 16.81 joules. So, the main thing I want you to see, I don't want you to worry so much about the math. The math is the math. What I need you to do, though, is make a prediction. Do you think you would have more kinetic energy when you were walking fast or when you were walking slow? Kinetic energy is energy of motion, so you'd think the fast walk should have more kinetic energy. So let's look. My kinetic energy, 74 joules versus 16 joules. Slow walk, lower number, less energy. Fast walk, higher number, more energy. That works out. So thank you again for bearing with me and trying, even attempting all of this is super, super fantastic. And I will see you back in class. Bye.